Okay, I am here with Thomas Dotson, and he is the author of The Empty Chair. Thomas, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your book.
Thank you, Abby. I appreciate the opportunity. My book, The Empty Chair, is my story about going through the process of grief and loss. I lost my parents and my sister in a car accident. And, grief is a lifelong process. And just reached a point in my life where I felt like I had something to give back to those that are going through situations where they're, it happens to all of us. We lose family, we lose friends. It affects us all differently. So I just felt like I had something to give back to people, to encourage people, to let them know that through Christ that you can overcome your loss. It's painful. It's a process. It hurts, but you can get through it, and that's what the book's about.
It sounds like obviously an intensely personal subject matter. What brought you to the point where you decided this is something that I want to write down and share with readers?
Well, I don't feel like that was my decision. I felt like I was driven by the Holy Spirit to do it, and we argued about it. I said no, nobody cares what I got to say, and it went on for probably 6 or 7 months that I refused to do anything. And I traveled a lot at that time for my job, and I was traveling, so I was alone at a hotel and had nothing to do. And I thought, well, I'll just write a few things down, and it just took off. I didn't really have a plan. I didn't really have what I'd say an outline or anything like that. I just began to type, and the more I typed, I felt like my heart was just opening up, and my mind was opening up, and the words just began to flow. And it took me about 3.5 years of working on it to get it complete.
Wow. So tell me, what is your title? Your title is The Empty Chair, but what was the inspiration for your title?
Well, that's an interesting story, because that wasn't the original title. That changed at the 11th hour, at the last minute, when Christian Faith Publishing was sending me emails, "We need the title of your book." And that's how close it came to being the first title, which was the title from the time that I started, was "And Jesus Wept," the shortest verse in the Bible. And at the last, I'm serious, the last minute, I just felt to change it to The Empty Chair. And the cover of the book, you see the chair, and the cover of the book, that's actually the farm that I grew up on with my parents. So me and my daughter went back, and she never met my parents. So we went back and just spent all day taking these pictures and on the old home place, and I just felt led to have that chair sitting there in that field with that autumn background, and I just thought it was perfect.
Yeah, no, I think you made a wise choice in the title. I think that's a great title. It makes people wonder what's the book about. So tell me what it was like publishing, because it wasn't something you wanted to do. The Holy Spirit was like, this is what you're going to do.
This is what you're going to do.
You obviously didn't grow up and think, I want to be an author one day. This is just something that God put on your heart. So how was it publishing with Christian Faith and going into this not really knowing how to put a book together?
It was a very, very good process. I had no idea what I was doing. So Seth and some of the other advisors, I think Linda was the first one that I talked to. They were just really great of educating me on the process, and step by step. Okay, this step is first, this step is second, this is third, and then finally we're going to reach that publishing date and release the book. And they were really great about just educating me on the process, taking me through it, because I knew nothing. I really didn't. And sometimes the internet can be a great thing. Sometimes the internet can be a terrible thing because of the information you get. So I read enough and done enough work just basically to scratch the surface, because I was really afraid I would get bad information. So I just trusted you guys to lead me along the way, and we had a great journey together. We really did.
Well, that's awesome. How was it when you were able to actually get your book and see it, and see the cover and the photos that you'd taken?
Oh, it was heartfelt story because my mother-in-law had lived with us for about 14 months, and she was battling cancer, and we had just lost her, and she lived with us, so the house was different, everything was different, and we were going through a season of grief, a season of mourning, me and my wife and the rest of the family. And then I know this may sound odd, Abby, but we kind of forgot about it because of all the things that were going on with her. And we come home one day and there's a box on the front porch, and I was like, what'd you order? I didn't order anything. And then I read on it, and I look at her, and this is the book. So it came at a time when we really needed it. God's timing's perfect, and we really needed it at that time. So it was a great feeling. A lot of smiles, a lot of happy thoughts.
That's awesome. It sounds like a fantastic book that anybody that's going through a challenge or has lost anyone or has suffered any sort of loss and is dealing with grief could really benefit from. It's awesome to be able to learn from one another's experiences. And thank you for writing it and being obedient to the Lord for writing it. And I know that there are people out there that He's written it to read. And so I hope those readers find your book. They can find it online, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. Thank you so much for doing this interview. Again, the book is called The Empty Chair by Thomas Dotson. And thank you for doing this interview. And I really enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank you, Abby. You have a blessed day.